Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Christy, and yes, heart. We are here with this wonderful podcast to really talk about drought proofing your retirement. Marion and I came together to create this space where we can talk to our friends and our colleagues and people that we really love and have gotten to know over the past years, months, whatever. We love everyone, and we love getting to know our friends and really trying to dig in and see, what they have to say about how they have planned to drought proof their retirement and how they like to help others. So, again, my name is Christy, and I have been working online for almost 2 decades. My love is building websites and also a little bit of baking, kind of semi retired on baking. So I'm going to pass it over to my wonderful friend Marion and have her introduce herself and then have her introduce our amazing guest. Marion?
Well, thank you, Christy. And I love how she downplayed the baking. Yeah. Baker extraordinaire.
Well, trying to
Yes.
retire.
Yeah. Can you imagine retiring? No. Hi, I'm Marion LaSalle here, and I like to call myself the By Your Side Guide. And recently, due to Dr. Karen here, I have decided that maybe I need to revamp that word because I really like the community aspect. I really like the fact that we're all pushing each other forward. If one of us lags behind, because we talked about that this morning, hey, come back. Hey, get back up here. Let's all move together. And
Exactly.
I just love that thought. So today we're going to talk about two things: how to drought proof your retirement, no matter what your age, because let's face it, they start telling you your Social Security won't be enough even when you're in grade school. So you got to think about your retirement even at an early age. And the second thing we're going to talk about, actually, the first thing, is the Good Parts Challenge. So thank you to Paul Hutchings. And our community is supported by some very, very fantastic founders. And I think that his idea of challenging yourself to do something like go live at a very specific date is really good for you. So, Christy and I took it on. Every week, we are going live. We are showing up. We are taking the challenge to show up as ourselves to talk about the real things. So, we're going to ask you to think about what are the good parts that you have to talk about. This is the Good Parts Challenge. So I'm going to introduce our guest now. Her name is Dr. Caryn Willens, and she is the self care superstar. Oh, yeah.
Yes, she
Thank you for
is.
joining us.
Oh, you're
Hello,
welcome.
Karen. Hello.
You're welcome. It's good to see you this morning, and thank you for the honor of being here. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good, good,
Thank you
good.
so much. So one of the things right off the bat is that you are a self-care superstar, and I have gotten to witness that. So with that, I imagine that self-care and good parts can kind of go hand in hand. So would you like to start off our good parts challenge with kind of letting us know something good that's happened this week, this month, something good in
Today.
your life? Not to put you on the spot, but you
No,
know,
that's okay.
okay.
I look at life that everything in life is good parts, even when it seems like it's not, because we have the opportunity to learn and to grow from it. And that's what I love. I'm all about personal growth, personal development, and that's in all areas of life. So I follow a philosophy of a balance in 5 pillars: mind, body, relationships, finances, and society. because when those are in balance, life just sails along. So this month has been a family pillar month for me. So I live on the west side of Wisconsin along the Mississippi River. It's right out my front door. And I used to live on the other side of the state, on the other body of water, Lake Michigan. I lived 2 blocks from Lake Michigan. That's where my children were raised. I have 3 grown children. And family is everything as far as I'm concerned. Whether we are blood related or whether we have come by our relationship as friends like Christy and Marion and I have. And so I have had the wonderful opportunity to go back to the other side of the state and spend 10 days living with my daughter and her family. She's got 2 boys, 13 and 8. And my son came in from Florida with his wife and their 2 little ones, a year-old tomorrow and a 2-year-old in August, a 3-year-old in August. Okay. And so we got to do fun things together and have family time. And I was gone for 10 days. And so that's my good parts for this month. So it was just a joyous time. And I got, it's always a good idea to take a step back and kind of regroup. And it gave me the opportunity to do that, to rebalance. And so when I came back, it's a 4-hour drive. I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do and how am I going to do it? So I jumped in, as both of you know, and I'm raring to go. So that's my good parts.
Absolutely. We definitely know. We definitely have seen it. You are such a blessing. Wow. Marion and I, although I don't think this is our good parts that we're going to talk about, but we are both planning vacations to see our children. We both have adult children as well. And what a good part that all 3 of us, we are in the situation in our lives. Not that we're retired, because we've discussed that before. Retirement looks different to so many people. But being in the situation where we are working for ourselves, working from home. My husband says I have a laptop lifestyle. So we are both going to see our children as well. So thank you for that. I love the idea of having those 5 pillars. And when they're in alignment, that's really when you can move forward and focus and know that you're in harmony. So I'm going to say, Marion, do you want to talk about any good parts? Or would you like me to go first?
I want you to go first, please.
Okay. I knew that was coming. That's why I asked you.
You had to ask.
I know. Okay. So as you know, Marion and I have a new website business where we are helping small businesses or entrepreneurs really bring their presence to the world. So we can either build a website for you, or we can teach you how to build your own website and give you those tools and resources to do so. So we're planning this launch party, and we really, gave ourselves enough time. And if you don't know, I think Marion has discussed this before. She had a she had a medical procedure, and there was a couple complications. And so, yeah. So I said, let's not think of this as a negative, and let's think about this as we have more time. We have more time to get ready for our launch party. And I am taking that as the good part, the best part. Something has said that we need more time. Something has said we're just not quite ready. So I told Marion that, she's going to go to the doctor and they're just going to poke one little button on her and she's going to be fixed. But, you know, that's going to be my good part there. But in all reality, the good part is, yes, we are postponing our launch party, but that does give us more time to, I don't want to say perfect it. I would never want to have perfection, but to maybe be more in alignment with our plans. So that's my good part. I'm super excited that we have more time. If you don't know what the launch party is, reach out to us. It is for everyone. It is not just for us. So Marion, let's hear your good part.
Okay, mine's a little odd. Okay, I will admit that. Everything that happens to me, as soon as it happens, when I think, oh, this is terrible or whatever, I immediately have trained myself now to go, what's the good part in that? So thank you very much, Paul, for challenging us to look at the good parts, because honestly, life can really throw some wingers. That's a combination word of ringer and winger. I don't know. Wingers. It's a winger of a day.
It is definitely a word.
It is a word. So at 10:30 at night, we were watching television. The lights are low. You know, everyone's calmed down. The dogs are, and my doorbell goes off. Oh, I live out in the national forest. The doorbell should not be ringing at 10:30 at night. And I froze. I'm like, uh-oh. But I noticed the dogs weren't barking. If somebody's literally ringing our doorbell, the dogs are like, rah, 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 rah. I think it's a food delivery service. Rah, rah, rah. Well, it happened again at 2:30 in the morning. I'm sleeping and the doorbell goes off. And so this has gone on for like 3 days in a row, different times and different. And so instead of, thinking I have a ghost or thinking that some kids are playing pranks on us, I think, what could it be? So we finally figured out it's the actual doorbell. Okay, so modern technology, you don't need to put a doorbell on and hardwire it into your house. You could just plug something into your outlet and put the little thing on the outside with a sticky, and so anyway, I have learned that that's probably not a very good idea in my neck of the woods, which is very hot and humid. It seems to not cooperate with that. So we've figured out, we just unplugged it and voila, we haven't had that problem since. So that's my good part. I figured out I don't have to worry anymore about ghosts ringing my doorbell.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Well, I love that. And I do also want to say thank you to Paul. He is such an inspiration. He has really started this phenomenon, taking over the internet, the Good Parts Challenge. So I want you, if you are hearing me right now, Google the hashtag or put it in Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is you use. Hashtag.
He does use Twitter. I know he does. And here I'm noticing that I have the Good Parts Challenge down below and then Good Parts Challenge up above. So I don't know. I think it's a lot of different combinations of words. So thank you.
Well, we will find out what the actual one is. And Marion, that is your homework while you are at the doctor's office.
Got it.
Okay, so let's get back to our wonderful guest.
Okay.
Now, Dr. Caryn, you are all about wellness and having entrepreneurs. And I don't know what entrepreneur necessarily means to you. So I would love, to know who exactly do you help and what do you think people that are transitioning from anything, whether it's corporate jobs or anything that will help them with their retirement. All I can think is, as an entrepreneur, there are so many things that I struggle with. I struggle with loneliness. I struggle with self-doubt. I struggle with imposter syndrome. I struggle with so many things. And, I'm imagining that there are other people that struggle with that too. I've said on this show before, I struggle with suicide. I think about it every day and I don't want to. So is is there something in the wellness world that you really focus on when you are helping entrepreneurs, whether that's, corporate people or small businesses or bakers? Is there something that you love to help them with, teach them, something that really takes them to that next level of health and wellness in their life and harmony?
Absolutely. That's a great question, Christy. You know, when we talk about the Good Parts Challenge, going back to that for 1 second, my life has been filled with stress, negativity, over control, and I was very ill because of it. It landed me in the hospital for a week over 30 years ago, and I basically prayed, and I because I was told I'd be sick for the rest of my life, and that there was no medication to help, and it was a very debilitating disorder. And so the prayer that I prayed was, God, if you help me find the way to get well, I'll help anybody I can. And it started me on a journey, and the journey started off with something totally what I thought was unrelated. It was the emotional aspect of physical wellness. And this is something that most people are detached from. So our emotions come from the heart and come from the gut. Okay. And we cut it off right here. Yep. Yep. And so this takes over, which is great because we're in survival mode at that point. All right. And we don't realize it. So I teach people through their physical aspect that there is an emotional component. And I guide them in delving into it gracefully. It has to be done gracefully because we are not taught these coping skills.
No.
Okay. And that is so important. I was so blessed to come across a gentleman who he's the one who introduced me to this concept. And I did a workshop at his center, and he had a table with half a dozen books. It was nothing fancy. It was just a table with 6 books. And there was one, if you've ever watched TV, there's kind of a telescopic effect where you zone into one thing and you see this character on TV going for this one thing and nothing else matters. And that's how I was when I found this book. It had a rainbow heart on it. And I like rainbows and I like hearts. Yes. Okay. So I did something that I had never done before and I have never done since after that workshop. I went right to the bookstore and I bought the book. And I started devouring that book.
Wow.
And this book continued the work that this mentor taught me in an introduction, okay? And I used those techniques with myself. Ultimately, I became certified in that technique from this book, okay? And that's how I learned to combine the emotional aspect of physical health. Now, I was not a naturopath at that time, okay? The nutritional component and the physical, the structural component actually came after that. And I put all these pieces together to create what I do now, which is offer things holistically. I have also become a certified yoga teacher. So I can give people stretches to get their bodies back into alignment. When the body is in alignment, everything performs better. And there's a lot of little details that could take us down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to do it at this
Right.
point because we'll be here forever. But everything is interrelated, and I teach people the interrelationship. So, when we look on the internet, there are programs, and it says here buy this program. Okay, this is the program for you. I don't do that. What I do is I work with my client and I facilitate, and we create a program that works.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so when we talk about drought proofing, okay, I don't ever want to retire because I like helping people. I like fulfilling the promise that I made over 30 years ago, okay? And that's what gives me joy.
Yeah.
Seeing faces light up, that light bulb that's above our heads that we go, "Oh,
Yeah.
that is so amazing to see in somebody when they've got it and they have transformed their life." It's so exciting to me because I
Wow.
know I've been there and I know the change it's made in my life. And moving forward, how many people I have been able to work with who have done that and given them that gift. So that's what keeps me going.
Oh, Dr. Caryn, I just have to chime in here because what you've said is so life-changing for so many people. Most people do try to force people into their modality, their line of thought. I can fix you this way, and they don't take this concept that you just relayed to us um, very well because they think that they know everything and they can fix you by doing this. By you saying, I'm going to look at you and help you with you,
Right.
that changes everything.
It does. It totally does. And it's a very different concept.
Thank you.
Yeah.
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 I can see your face lighting up when you talk about it. And it kind of really makes me think of myself. I do have a lot of what I call problems or issues, and I'll go to the internet because I'm pretty shy. I don't like to really talk to people about my issues, but I'll go to the internet and say, why am I feeling this? Why did this make me feel like I wanted to end my life today? And I've never found anything that really fits me, that really, like, I've never said, oh, that is exactly what I'm going through. So to have somebody that really takes all those parts of you and can formulate something with you, really say, how can I help you? What can we do together to get you to a healthy place? Like, that means everything to me, just hearing those words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's something that I've created that most people don't do. I mean, the majority of people don't do.
I
Right.
want to talk a little bit about a different perspective here. So, everybody has issues and problems. Christy just talked about a big problem that a lot of, not just Americans, I think worldwide, a lot of people think, oh my God, I just want to get off this planet. I think that's really what it is.
Yes.
Um, but my thought usually is, yeah, but how am I going to pay my bills? Yeah, you're going to help me, but how am I going to eat tomorrow? Now, that's not me right now, but you know what I'm saying. I think most people focus in on that. Yeah, but I have to have a job. I have to go to this job I hate, or whatever is that's keeping them from seeking help or trying harder. What about tomorrow? Yeah, okay, I'm safe today, but what about tomorrow? And so that, to me, stops a lot of people from getting better. do you, either one of you, feel like I'm hitting the target on the head? Are you picking up what I'm dropping down?
I am. And I think a lot of that has to do with our wellness system. You know, I have heard people kind of like Dr. Caryn, who, you know, that holistic way of treating people doesn't align with the medical system. And so there's a fight. And I've seen this in my daughter. My daughter, she does have, you know, maybe not as severe as me, but she does fall into the category of needing mental help. And she's a middle school math teacher. So that adds so much more stress to her life. She has tried to break up a fight and ended up in the ER due to her job. So, you know, she has the trauma side, she has the mental, and she has expressed to me it is very hard to get help because one, she has to fight her insurance. Two, she's in school every single day. So she needs someone that is like Dr. Caryn, who works from home and can really take everything about her. She's a teacher, so she doesn't have the ability to go to a normal doctor because she has to work. And you know, we are in a time right now where teachers don't really get a day off. So that's something, you know, I think when we have people that care as much as Dr. Caryn cares, um, they these people, Dr. Caryn, can help anyone who has that job issue. And I don't know if that's exactly where you were going with that, Marian, but it really hit me. Like, I have been there and watched my daughter suffer and not be able to find the help. You know, and I've never.
I don't think there's a human being alive today that could say that they don't struggle with some kind of mental, I don't know what you call it, illness or issue or whatever. I think we all struggle here on this planet.
Yeah.
And I know we only have about 4 minutes left, and I don't want to leave today without being able to contact Dr. Caryn if you want to get a hold of her. So I think because we're revamping her website right now, I think the best way to get a hold of her right now would be to go to LinkedIn. So just go to LinkedIn, go look up Dr. Caryn Willens, Willens, and check her out. Because I think there are a lot of people that see this today. They're going to want to reach out to you. So
Absolutely.
thank you for
I
being here with us today.
Thank
Yes.
you. I hope so. And, you know, Marian, I want to just comment on what you said. For the last 3 years, the uncertainty and the stress has increased. And this is really on people's minds. You know, first it was the pandemic, now it's the economics. And so people are living with a lot of uncertainty. So if I can give everybody one piece of advice, okay? We normally live 60% in the past, 10% in the present, and 30% in the future. Okay? If we can reverse that and spend 10% in the past, learn from the past, learn from the mistakes, learn what makes us tick, and 30% in the present. 60% in the present and 30% in the future. 60% in the future. Okay. 10, 30, and 60. Okay. We have a trajectory that we can focus on in a positive way. Okay. Those emotions hold us back in the past. And that's why they're important.
Absolutely. Wow, that's beautiful and very relatable. Very relatable.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you. We are almost out of time. Dr. Caryn, do you have, I know you just wrapped us up with that, but do you have any final thoughts? Anything that you were hoping to get out to the world today? Anything that anything you want to follow up with?
I live by a phrase, be the change you want to see in the world. That's Mahatma Gandhi. Okay?
Love it.
Be yourself. And if you don't know who yourself is, start searching, because that person is in there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You are a true inspiration, and I am very blessed to call you my friend. Marion, do you want to close us out for today?
Thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. We enjoyed it just as much as you did, and we are lucky that we get to spend weekly time with Dr. Caryn, and we hope that you will join us as well. Are you looking to maybe think about your retirement? Would you like to drought proof it? Well, you could join us, and here's how. I'll put up some information on the screen. Also, you can go down below. Did you know that Christy and I have a podcast? We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're just all over the place. And oh, thank you. If you go to creativecontentcrusaders.com, you can get all the information that you possibly would want. If you resonated with us today, you probably fit in. Give us a call, check us out. We'd love to have you. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.